Would you like to learn a really simple way to swatch in the round? Then this video is for you, so keep watching. Hello! So this is a swatch which is knitted in the round. How is that possible? Why is it not a tube? Why are there no strands of yarn in the back of the work? And what are those tails at one side of the work? Let me show you. It's actually that simple. All you want to do when swatching in the round is to eliminate the purl stitches. And here's how we do that. Can you see how my working end is at the left side of my work? So normally I would either turn the work or I would pull my yarn end to the back. Now we're doing that as well, but with a little twist. We're leaving a nice long loop. About that much. And then, can you believe it? All we do is we knit with this loop. Some swatches will start knitting with this loop straight away. I prefer to work with here's my ball of yarn. So with the working tail, with the working end first, because that locks in this loop. And then it's easier, whoopsies, and then it's easier to handle my swatch. So let me show you. Where's my other needle? Here we go. So first, just a little purl stitch here. Fiddle, fiddle. Oh, it's really hard to knit with that camera in my face. Okay, now we're away. And we do that till the end. When you reach the end, it is important to always ensure that these stitches here are pulled tight, because they will distort the swatch. And now we still have our loop hanging here. And that's where the magic comes in. This in my hand is now my loop. And I'm going to knit with it. Just like I like knitting with my working yarn end. You get the gist of it. The only hard part about the whole process from my perspective is determining how long that loop actually has to be. But that is trial and error, and you'll figure that out rather fast. See, this one is a little bit on the short side now. So this loop ended up being really short. This is my working yarn. And here's that little loop being quite tiny. So a little bit more of a loop would be advantageous. But you'll figure it out. I am figuring it out with you right now. So show you one more time. We're pulling a loop. Yeah, about this much. We can knit right from the loop, or like I prefer, lock it in first by using my working yarn. A little purl here at the edge. Then we knit to the end. Now I'm at the end. Just pulling on those tails to tighten up those stitches a little bit. But no worries, because you're not gonna measure your gauge at this edge, yeah? A distortion of the fabric in this area has to be factored into the process. In other words, you're not getting a pretty swatch, but you're getting a fast and a functional swatch. And you're getting a swatch where you can still use the yarn if you're playing yarn chicken. In a swatch where you would have dragged the yarn tails through the back and then cut them open, you can no longer do that. So I think that's pretty clever. So yeah, that looks ugly, but that's okay. Okay, so we have locked this yarn tail here in place by using the working yarn. And now we work with the loop. Let's see how far I get this time. It's always a bit of a gamble because I don't want to give myself too much slack, because I don't want to have too much yarn hanging off the side. But well, I have to make it to the end. That's the whole idea. And this time I'm managing to do this. This is my last stitch. These stitches at the end become very, very loose. No worries. So to paraphrase, pull the loop to the back, leave a longer loop than usual, lock it in by knitting across with your working yarn end. Do not turn the work, then knit with your loop. Fingers crossed you make it to the end. If not, a little bit of frogging never harmed anybody. Finally, with every row and also at the end, tighten these ends a little bit because they will distort the fabric here. And then wash as usual. Finally, when you measure your gauge, I would only start measuring about 3 to 4 stitches in from the edge with the tails. So starting about here, taking your gauge swatch